Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the 2025 Disability and Neurodivergence special on GDQ Hotfix. My name is Anarchy. I do again want to shout out Spacey for that amazing run of Dark Souls 3. That was awesome. And once again, we are here in benefit of the AWN network. That's who we're raising money for with this Twitch Together for Good 2025. I do want to quickly shout out that if you donate $5 or more to the Autistic Women and Nonbinary Network, you'll be able to get a heart badge from Twitch. Donating a cumulative of $50 or $100 will also unlock additional badges as well. The colors are really cool. We've got pink, green, and I think the $100 cumulative is a cool cross between the two of them. So you can click donate to charity or type !donate in chat to get your heart badge today. With that, I also want to shout out $25 we had coming from Boobdilla. So thank you so much for that towards AWN Network. But with that, I want to go ahead and welcome on our next runner, Jaxler, who's going to be running Vexx, who I know is very, very excited to show this game off. So good luck, have fun, and take it away.
Great, thank you, Anarchy. Hello, everybody. My name is Jaxler, and this is indeed Vexx for the Microsoft Xbox. So if you've never seen Vexx before, imagine Mario Sunshine if it were emo, and that'll roughly get you about 3/4 of the way there. I jest, but this is a 3D platformer run with some of the sickest movement tech in any game I've ever played. I've been speedrunning since like 2015, so I don't say that lightly. And so because of that, this run really, really tough, has a lot of stuff going on. So to help me get through the mental battle that is running this game in a marathon setting, I have a friend joining me along with Anarchy. Would you like to introduce yourself, Les?
Hi, I'm Laszlo. Jaxler incentivized me to join this speedrun because Anarchy's here, but also I have not seen... I don't know if he understands the full consequences of what he signed up for, but also I've never seen this game. He told me to react to it blind, so I have no idea what I'm getting into.
I don't know what I hope Anarchy looked at a little bit because Anarchy helped put this event again together. But
I sure did.
Yeah, but I'm sure you're not as familiar with this game as well. So this is a game I love showing people just to kind of show them what is possible with speedrunning. There's going to be so much stuff I'm going to have to get into, but let's just go ahead and get this over, or not get this over with. This is going to be a great time. Let's get this going. That was the word I was looking for. So time is going to start as soon as I select a new game. So let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Good luck.
So you're going to notice I'm going to go off camera here real quick on purpose. I start the run by unplugging my controller after I skip the opening cutscene. This actually forces the game to open the menu when a intro cutscene is playing, allowing me to quit out and save like 20 seconds right off the bat. So huge shout outs to friend of the people Crow3893 for finding that one. But yeah, this is Vexx. This game has a kind of it plays very much like a classic 3D Mario sort of thing with a long jump, high jump system, very reminiscent of what Mario Galaxy has, where you press crouch, and then if you're holding still, you'll get a high jump. If you're moving while you're starting to crouch, you'll get a long jump. And so we can combine the two of those together with a really interesting little oversight called extended high jumps and extended long jumps. So you're not supposed to be able to do that wall climbing segment right there. And that is because of a bug with this game's animation state machine, where normally you're intended to press crouch and then jump. But if you reverse it, so you press jump and then a couple frame later, press crouch, you do a regular jump and then the long jump or high jump, which gives you a lot more distance and speed. And so every time you're seeing me do one of these long jumps to move around faster is one of those bugs being exploited. So we're gonna use that all over the course of the run here. As we make our way to our first Wraith Heart, which is water rings. There's going to be these kind of 3 water tubes that I need to swim through a ring in order to activate. And then we're going to be going for an extended high jump off the edge of the water surface and skip swimming to the top of this tube and then falling back down the center. Nice. So I used my other 2 aerial resources. In midair, you can kind of do this cool ground pound attack and a flip kick. And you can use those to kind of stall midair, redirect, do all sorts of cool stuff like that. But with that, we just do a bit of a swimming line here in order to make the platform cycles move, and we'll get our first Wraith Heart. The Wraith Hearts in this game are basically like the stars from Mario 64, Mario Sunshine. There's 80 total in the game, kind of. It's complicated because of glitches. But we need 60 out of the 80 in order to complete this game and reach the final boss. So there's going to be our first one right there. And then we're going to immediately leave and go play some soccer. So there's our first heart in about 2.25 minutes. That was a lot of words. Anarchy, Laszlo, how y'all feeling?
You're so cool, Jaxler. But also, I have to say, like, I had some really big giggles in the beginning because you did the countdown and then you just like died.
Oh, I gotta go. Hey, I'm done.
3, 2, 1, go! Runs away.
Like, just leaves.
But no, but the movement in this is so cool. Like, it's already like so highly technical. We literally just started.
Yeah. And immediately coming out of that really cool movement section is a really annoying one where we have to do something called physics and kick the soccer ball around while all these enemies like try to block me midfield, which is really rude. And then when we get it into this goalpost, this is going to be a little annoying to set up. What I'm trying to do is kick the ball into the goal and then run with it. This guy's, oh my God, the entire freaking defensive line is here. Oh, when he kicked the ball, why would you do that?
Twin, this is
okay. I got the skip though.
Right.
So if you jump into the heart as it's spawning, you skip a cutscene. Long story short. Yeah, wow, that soccer was really bad. Sometimes it goes really, really good, and you're like, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm like the Messi of Vexx, and then sometimes that happens, and you're like, why did I even put my cleats on?
I think that's how real soccer goes also.
Yeah, wouldn't be shocked.
I played that for a long time, so I basically, yeah. It looked just like that. There's those little guys and everything.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So not like soccer. This is a lot more like Mario 64. We're doing what's essentially the red coin mission of this world. Pretty much every level has 6 soul jars, and when you collect all 6 of them, it'll cause a wraith heart to appear somewhere. And so our goal is to get all 6 of these and then finish with the soul jar that's like closest to where the heart's gonna spawn, so that way we don't have to like backtrack at all. And so certain things like this bridge here is on a bit of a funky cycle. I think I saved it. Okay, we'll make that work. So there's 2 types of like cycles in this game, local cycles and global cycles. Global cycles start as soon as the level, like you walk through the warp gate. Local cycles start when you get close enough to an object, like when that bridge loads in via the draw distance. So once I get up to that bridge, I have to kind of get there quickly enough so it's in the right rotation. And then right there, I'm gonna wait for this guy to turn around, kick him in the head, and then hopefully this will allow me to line some of these guys up so that I can uppercut them. And what I'm trying to do here is build that meter that's in the top right corner called the rage meter. There we go. That was a little slow, but that's fine. You want to try to get all 3 for like a Omega Gamer combo, but it's really annoying spacing and any AI manipulation to get that to work. So we want a full rage meter. The rage mode in this game basically lets you go Super Saiyan for a little bit after you activate it and like shoot fireballs. It's really cool. But instead, I'm going to use it to do a very, very cool glitch and go for something called Sky Island's Fast Cycle. I'm going to need quiet time for this because if I mess up any movement, I have to basically bail from this. 4, 5, up. Good so far. 1, 2, 3. Try to manipulate the enemies there to avoid me. Okay, this looks good. Okay, I'm gonna have to bail, unfortunately. So I got robbed with one of my wall jumps, unfortunately, meaning that it just didn't work, which is really cool. So we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, if it'll let me. There we go. There is kind of this skip we can do to get to this top platform a little bit earlier, but other than that, that's kind of like the normal way. Not the end of the world. There was a glitch I was going to go for in a little bit called rage jumping that we'll actually see in this next split. And weirdly enough, this will save me, because of routing, it'll save me some time later. Don't worry about it. If I hit that, it would have been like a really cool like rock climbing looking segment that saved like 15 seconds. Don't worry about it too much. It's in the record. So you can go look at it later if you'd like. But that's like the thing with this game is like a lot of the levels in this game, especially in late game, are very vertically built. So if you make like certain kinds of mistakes, you just lose like so much time in just raw platforming, or you fall all the way down to like the bottom of a level and you're like, well, this sucks. And then you just have to move on from there. This is our first mini boss. This is Sumo. He's just gonna kind of run towards me, and then he's gonna try to like belly bump me. He's gonna miss because I'm cool, and then I'm gonna short yukin him in the rear, and then he's gonna give me a gesture that I really don't appreciate. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of loop him a couple of times.
Okay.
Pretty common question I get is that the Wraith Heart is right there, so why don't I just jump for it? Unfortunately, that Wraith Heart doesn't load in until you kill the boss. And there's a couple of Wraith Hearts like that in the game where it's like, you actually have to do the intended thing first before like it becomes like collidable with. But that's Sumo. That's the first Sumo fight. We'll see him again later when we get to a world called the Below. But that fight is a lot more interesting, but we won't be there for like another solid, I don't remember how many minutes into the future that is. All right.
We'll get there.
We'll get there when we get there.
Somewhere.
All right. So because I didn't hit Sky Island's fast cycle, this is the first time we're going to see something called the rage jumping glitch. And this is what really kind of makes the platforming in this game, in addition to all these like extended high jumps and long jumps, like really cool to watch in like live. So basically there are certain animations in this game that like after you activate them, if you hold down the jump button, it lets you do like this tiny little hop midair as a sort of way of like saving yourself if you like beef it. And one of those animations you can do that out of is when you activate rage, when you have full meter. And when you do that little hop, it turns out you can also extended high jump out of it. So that is going to allow us to like triple jump midair and do some really bonkers stuff. So we just skipped a really kind of long like platform cycle, like elevator sequence, just immediately off the bat there. So
That's awesome.
So out of a rage jump, you can also either choose the high jump or long jump, and depending on what you want and the context of where you're doing it and the amount of lag you've got going, can change the input timings for all of it. Not even just to mention, like, there's a lot that goes into spacing these kinds of things that we'll get into a bit later, but yeah, there's a lot. Timberdale in particular, even though it's kind of like the first world, because of the strats, just has like a lot going on. Oh, that's really unlucky. Usually you just like clobber that guy and keep going, but he slowed me down. So I'm gonna lose a second there for no reason. So that's cool. I'm not mad. So this is Rock Suit. This is something that we grabbed at the very start of the run when I went into that weird tapestry thing. We're gonna use it to get like 3 really fast Wraith Hearts over the course of the run. That's kind of the gist of this run, is get the 60 fastest Wraith Hearts possible in order to unlock the portal to the final boss. And one of them we're gonna do next that, because I didn't hit Sky Island's fast cycle, I really want to try to see if I can hit this cycle. Laszlo, you might have seen me practice this right before we went live. Oh, no, you were...
No.
I looked away.
That was awesome.
You're awesome. So we're going to go... Oh, okay, you know what? I'm just going to shut up because now we're heading into the sundial. Here we go. So I want to try to do this without using my rage jump here. Okay. I don't think I get there in time. Yeah, I definitely don't. Okay. So...
Ooh, this is so stressful.
Yeah, so I took a backup cycle there, which is fine. But I will still get to... because I did keep my rage up here, which is the goal, I can basically show you kind of the backup cycle, which is that. Yeah. So not...
That's still so cool.
Yeah. So not only can you jump out of activating rage, you can also jump out of shooting a fireball midair. So you can do like triple high jumps. It's really freaking dope. All right, so we're done with Timberdale. That's kind of the first world. We actually got like a 1037 out of Timberdale, which is pretty good. We're heading next. This is the only... So every level also has like, for lack of a better term, a 100 coin star. And the only one we're going to do in the route is this one in this world, Dragon Reach. So we're going to get to kind of see a good lay of the land here. Weirdly enough, like in terms of like amount of time it takes to get the Wraith Heart, this is one of like the slowest ones that we still do in any percent. But oh, I forgot that I did a rage jump. So this is going to complicate the amount of rage I have. So, really important concept to talk about with Vexx is rage management. So every time, unless you are frame perfect, you activate the rage meter to do like a rage jump trip, you lose a little bit of that rage meter. So you need to route in the fact that you need to re-damage enemies so you can build your rage back up over time. So like right there, for example, along the way, because that guy was just like right in the way of me kicking him in the head. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I had a weird spacing moment there. Sometimes sometimes that'll just happen with Vexx. I just have a weird spacing moment PM where it's just like, oh, I long jumped a little shorter than I had thought I would, so now I gotta readjust my lines. Yeah, once we get any 100 of these kind of like souls around here, or I think they're called soul shards or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I forgot. We're just grabbing the fastest 100 of them. Enemies, right. So if you know you want to do rage jump tech, you need to route in the fact that you need to smack somebody in the head along the way so that you don't have what happened just now with me, where it's like I showed up to do the trick and I didn't have the rage at all for it. And that happened there to me because I'm not used to going for the fakey fireball there. So because of that, I got owned. That's okay.
Only a little.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes.
Oh wait, no. Anarchy, do your message first.
Oh no, I was gonna say, speaking of the best of us, let me know.
I'm one short. What do you mean? Which one did I miss? Oh, that's evil game. Okay. Well, this is weird.
Well, that just happened.
Don't say that. That's what is it?
What is? Hey,
What's this? What did I miss? I'm so okay. Hold on. Anarchy, save me. Bail me out here. I'm so confused.
Here we go. Yep, I got you, my brother. So once again, we are here during this Disability and Neurodivergence special here on Hotfix, raising money for AWN Network, which seeks to respect the many ways people can be different from one another, advocating for equality through disability justice and transformative justice.
This has become a disaster.
We also are promoting the neurodiversity paradigm and celebrating everyone's autistic identities. Their support includes meetups, community events, and aid for individuals facing adversity. And by sharing information, their goal is to build acceptance and understanding about disabled and autistic people, as well as empower the community to fight for disability, gender, and racial justice. You can, of course, learn more at awnnetwork.org. And helping us raise money for the AWN Network, we've got $50 from Kung Tofu 2, as well as we've also got $25 from Purple. So thank you so much for sending those in. We really appreciate it.
Hey.
All right, so now we're gonna we just kind of like saw the opener there that we'll see a lot at the start of this level when I'm heading in this direction for a heart. We're gonna make use of the fact that you can also buffer an extended high jump right there out of that in order to preserve our rage, so we can do a rage jump up to here. And this will be our first kind of wingsuit heart. This is the only time we'll use the wingsuit as intended. Any other like heart that's meant to be collected with this will be collected in like the wrong way. And then any heart that like, we're gonna use it a couple of times to collect hearts we shouldn't be, is the spoiler warning. But next we're gonna do Dragon Reach Jars, where we're gonna see me do another fakey fireball here, hopefully. And because of that, we get to open up a really cool little route through here. I need to kick this guy in the head. Come here, my scarab. No, don't hurt me. There you go. Let me hurt you.
My scarab.
Lot of lag through here. Oop, there we go. Good save. So here we go. Nice. So every little animation that you want to do an extended high jump out of has like a different time. Can you please get over here? Floater guy, thank you.
Sorry.
I call them floaters because they float around and they make me feel sad. So every one of those like little like extended high jumps out of an animation has like a different timing to it, including the timing for doing it out of activating rage and then for sending a fireball. Something I'll be doing a lot as well is a trick known as a fakey fireball, where for a little bit after you activate rage, your rage meter has iframes, for lack of a better term. So if you do your rage fireball jump like early enough after you do the initial rage jump, it actually doesn't cost any meter, which is really helpful so that I don't have to beat up as many, I don't want to say innocents because you saw they were trying to beat me up too. But it means I have to beat people up less on the way. Oh, and I have full rage through here too. Perfect.
I mean, I don't really understand the story, so I don't really know.
Oh, I don't either. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
I think Vexx is just mad, which is fair. This is a bit of a newer rage jump that I started going for. Nice with a flip kick right there. Ooh. And getting like the maximum height you can off extended high jumps. You just barely get that one. And then right here, we're gonna go for a really funny. This is kind of like a little sub area that you're supposed to go through, but you can just kind of rage jump over it and skip all the intended puzzle. So it's just like, nope.
I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, somebody in chat I think mentioned as well that I did miss one of those soul shards on probably somewhere on the spine, which is really rough. Sometimes it's like really hard to tell with the left-right audio balancing if I actually hit the thing I was supposed to or not, but it's fine. Oh, okay, we're good. So that tree right there in particular is like the devil from hell, because if you're not far enough to the left, you will just kind of bonk your head on it. And there's a property with slopes in this game where if you try to long jump, but then like you hit the ground too quickly, it'll just put you back into a slide animation. And when you're in that slide animation, like the button prompts kind of change a little bit, and it's messed up and evil. So there's our other rock suit heart, and then we're not going to see the rock suit again until the second to last world, weirdly enough. But we're going to have another cool little movement segment here with Dragon Claw. So this is going to kind of look the same movement-wise as what we did to get to the wingsuit objective in this level. But instead, we're going to take a different path. So Lazla, Anarchy, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing great. I wish that like anytime I was mad or I was like rage baited, like I would actually use it in this way. I think it would be so much more useful to me.
So much more productive. Yeah, when I'm being rage baited, right. I can just shoot a fireball.
Yeah, right. I can just do some cool jumps about it.
Do some cool jumps about it is lame. That is awesome. All right, so that's going to be it for Dragon Reach. And so this first heart in Dragon Reach, or sorry, in Neverglades, where we're headed next, is by far the sketchiest. And so we are going to start by grabbing 3 like hexagonal runes that are kind of like keys to this sub area. And then as long as we don't like leave this world, it'll remain unlocked. So there's going to be 2 hearts that we're going to want to get in there. But we're going to start with the first one being the harder of the 2. Just to get it out of the way, and also for rage management reasons, which we'll talk about. For anger management reasons.
Right. I need that.
Rage or anger management?
Anger management.
I see.
No, I'm fine.
All right, so I'm going to ask for some quiet time once I get into the sub area. There's 2 parts to this. I'm trying to make a fast platform cycle for platforms that I shouldn't be able to reach yet. And then after that, I have to do a really sketchy rage jump and then delayed fireball jump. So enjoy, I guess, while I suffer here. Good. Good. And cycle. Okay, I probably need to cycle off of that, but I can force a ledge grab here. I was trying to make that platform right there, but we will just wait for it to come back down. That is totally fine. This is the sketchy part. Here we go. So we're gonna wait to cancel out a rage. Yes! Yes! We got it.
That's my go.
You're awesome. So good at video games. What?
So the way that sub area is supposed to work, there's supposed to be 3 buttons that causes that temple to kind of rise out of the sand. So that way all of those like moving platforms actually kind of make sense as to where they're going. But with rage jump and fireball jumps, that allows us to get up there without ever having to hit those 3 buttons. Which also just means we would have to scale more of that like tower in the sand, which would be so slow. All right, we're gonna see the wingsuit again here, and you're gonna see I'm gonna be able to mash my way. Kind of what I was talking about earlier with the slopes, where if you long jump into a slope, you can kind of just infinitely long jump. So we're intended to use this wingsuit to fly into that Wraith Heart in the waterfall over there, but instead we're just gonna use it as a shortcut to get to here. And then this puzzle actually requires us to shoot fireballs, and because of that, there's like this well right here that gives us all of our anger back to us. Oh, that was gold too. Good God. Right. I like never gold that split. Nice. That's awesome. That's like not a hard. That gold, that segment isn't very hard, and so because of that, like golding that split is impossible. And speaking of impossible to gold, now we're gonna go get that part that we were supposed to get by flying in into the waterfall with the wingsuit. But we're just gonna do a rage jump into another fakey fireball, kind of the gold standard here. Very, very classic. Yes, there we go. And so
Yeah, you were not lying when you said this was emo Mario.
yeah, it really is.
No,
It really
actually.
period. So we kind of we front load the 3 hardest hearts of Neverglades kind of back to back, because this is still kind of, even though we're 22 minutes in, this is still kind of the early game. And so now we get a little bit of a break with electric fish. There are going to be these 3 electric fish that are swimming around that I need to get to chase after me and hope that I don't accidentally bug their AI out. Okay, he looks fine.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Yeah.
Would you eat that?
Not even remotely.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Really?
I'd find a way.
Don't say that.
Right.
All right, so I think the fish were nice. Sweet. Sometimes the fish can bug out there. Also, there's a really funny interaction there that can happen. There's actually a little portal that you can use to leave the sub area. And so I like to try to be on top of the button so that I can instantly grab the heart. And you can, in fact, jump into that as you are solving the puzzle here, which I've done before and lost a run to. That was on like minus 20 pace. So that was cool.
Oh.
And then coming up is actually Neverglades jars. So not every level is just like find every soul jar scattered amongst the level. Sometimes these soul jars are used a bit more creatively, and low-key, this might be one of my favorite Wraith Hearts just in the game from like a casual / game design perspective. Just because of the way it's like a very unique mechanic of like, you're actually doing like the thing in Mario Odyssey where you like do 2D platforming on like a wall, but in 2003 on like tapestry that's like detailing like the lore of this world. And it also helps that this is all no rage jump movement, so we get to do a lot of cool movement here. A lot of little micro adjustments.
So cool.
Yeah, look at this. Like, I almost said a bad word. Look at this crap. Like,
But you're right. Like, this is really
sick.
cool.
do a little strat there where I duck under the collision. And then right here, setting up for a long jump into the other side of the platforming segment. This is actually going to give me like a little bit of like angling movement. That's actually, so something I failed to mention just yet is that we're actually doing this run on the Xbox version of the game. For our leaderboards, we actually go by load removed time, meaning that loading times are not counted for the leaderboard. But for an RTA showcase like this, the Xbox version has the fastest loads. And there's also a couple of tiny version differences that make Xbox like at most like 5 to 10 seconds faster in a few random spots like there, where when you do that trick I did, you have a little bit more freedom of movement after. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. And so now we're going to get to see this movement again where I kind of climb this outside face, but there is a part in the middle of the temple core here, and then you got to react. If you get there quickly enough, that blocker is not in the way, but because I missed a jump somewhere, I had to react on the fly there. But now we're out of Neverglades and going into Tempest Peak Manor. So I like to call this the Chibi Robo level, because we are in like what looks like the house of like a giant. And the gimmick of this level is if you fall down to the floor, there's this like monster dog thing that you'll see in the cutscene here. Who's like, "Ooh, I smell food," and then he rolls up and just deletes you. So we're gonna want to avoid that. But I'm gonna try to do a really tricky strat to get up and over the piano lid here in order to get into another one of my like favorite levels like in the game, which is the piano sub area. So we're gonna do a ground pound into flip kick to get up and over there, and now we're going into the sub area. So there's a lot more platforming that we're supposed to do in this sub area, but there's a lot of funny ways you can cheese this. So I'm gonna start by kicking that guy in the head so that I can get my rage back. And then something you'll see me do with this yellow pole and any other is that I can jump off and flip kick back, which is faster than the normal climbing animation. And then right here, for some reason, if you go up here, you can just climb to the top of the pole through that wall, and that's just enough height for a rage jump to get you the rest of the way there.
This game is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're good. That could have been that. You know what? We're gonna use a rage jump just so I didn't have to wait for the platform cycle there. Not Not too bad though. Got a 136 there. I was comparing against my PB like gold to that split, so not too bad. Not too shabby. And so next we're gonna go do a really easy heart, which is the bookshelf heart, but we have to do that jump over the piano lid again because we need to be able to set the sundial for the heart after this, which hopefully I am going to be able to hit all the strats for that because what is happening? Oh my god, that what a save.
Ooh, that's just the goat.
I need rage.
Right.
Okay, I got my rage back.
Me never.
So what happened there is I actually got too close to the wall and the game tried to initiate like a wall jump type of thing. So we're actually gonna go on and off it to hopefully avoid something called the sundial glitch. It was in a bit of a weird spot there and I didn't trust it. I need some rage, thank you. Actually probably didn't need the rage there, but that's fine, we're fine.
We're fine. You're so fine.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you.
We're so bad.
I try to hype you up. Whatever.
Next.
Wow, okay. All right, so coming up, we're going to do this level's sundial. The sundial levels are essentially like we were joking about Emo Mario Sunshine. The sundial sections are basically the secret courses from Mario Sunshine. But like the in-game time, like day-night cycle, has to be within a specific range for the portal to open. And so hopefully I don't get the really annoying portal bug. We didn't, which is awesome. And let's see if I can hit this strat. This looks really cool. Oh, he got in the way. That's evil.
That level transition is really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, that's pretty much it. Climb up here. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, we did have someone in chat earlier mention how good the level transitions are.
Yeah. That's one of the things that like just like as a even just quality of life, like it kind of functions and looks a lot better actually on like the Xbox version, low-key. And that's actually weirdly enough another version difference that I didn't get the chance to cover. So the very first sundial section that we did actually makes Xbox a slight time saver, and at least in RTA. And the reason is that on the GameCube version, which is kind of like the other standard version that people would normally want to run. Oh, that's not great. I need another face to kick in real quick.
We've all been there.
Me when people were mean to my friends. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Here, I'll explain that version difference once I do this really funny skip. So that sub area we went into in order to get to the sundial level was supposed to be like a sub area that you climb up to get to this heart. But you can just rage jump over the top and this heart is always active. So we just skipped the whole sub area. And then now we're gonna go play Breakout. I will say that this, I'll just go ahead and say it now that this is a photosensitivity warning for basically this entire heart. Once we collect it and work back to the hub, we should be good to go. But we're gonna go play a classic video game called Breakout. So we start by flip kicking the console on. I don't think I get here. Rats. And you can't let's grab that. I forgot. Oh, nerds. Okay, actual photosensitivity warning now because the TV's gonna flicker because it's a CRT. Now the heart's either gonna go left or right. It went left. It's a 50-50, so we got good RNG. And so this is pretty much, we're just kind of sitting here and chilling because when it goes to the left, like those old like those old like TV monitors, how they'd have like the logo bouncing around the corners and everyone would always hope that it like exactly hit the corner. Even though it never would. This is the one time it will successfully hit the corner. Are you all ready for this?
Well, yes.
Boom.
Banger alert.
Wicked.
And weirdly enough, after you complete the mini game, you can just jump off the joystick and you're done. Like you can just go grab the heart, which is really cool. And now you can look back at the screen if you have photosensitivity concerns. That is over now. And now I have a feeling, Laszlo, that this heart in particular is going to scare you just because we're going to be up really high on some precarious crap. Starting off with this, with a little rage jump and a fakey fireball to avoid a wall jump chain. Wall jumping in this game is pretty bad. All things considered, I try to be, I don't like being one of those people where it's like, oh, this game has a thing that's bad, or it's just like, oh, it's just not for me. No, it's actually just kind of bugged. So the soul jars in this level each sit upon one of the snuffed out candles on this chandelier. So we're going to take a big leap of faith and then press the Y button to readjust the camera. So I have a bit more camera control here. And I'm going to shut up. Make sure I don't fall. You can see how far I fall if I mess this up.
I don't like it.
So by pressing the Y button there, the game actually allows me to have control of the camera, which it normally doesn't really give you during that. So imagine all that platforming, but you didn't really have the ability to leverage the camera.
Oh, that's terrible.
That does sound really
well done.
All right, and that's going to be TPM. Okay, so coming up, there's going to be some cut scenes that I kind of have to mash through. And then I'm going to ask for some quiet time because I'm actually going to be doing an RNG manipulation here. This is Sumo 2. I'm going to ask for quiet time here. It's just going to look like I'm holding forward, but I actually do need to kind of concentrate here. Okay. It looked weird, but we'll try it. So basically the way this mini-boss's AI works is that after a certain amount of time has randomly passed, it will go into like an attack where it like throws rocks at you from the sky, which is really sketch. But by the RNGC that it uses is dependent on how many frames you've been in this level when you first go through the portal. Okay, I think we still get there. Okay, we saved. Okay. So basically the RNG manip is meant to land you in a cluster of seeds that delay him from doing that attack long enough to manip him to the edge where you can knock him off. And then because the arena gets smaller over time, the rest of these you can all just do as normal. So now I'm just going to kind of lock in for Sumo a bit. He's a lot faster, and that running water does actually push me. So I do need to be a bit careful here.
That's fine.
Good.
Hi.
Okay, one more hit. Hi, Food.
Hey.
All right, we should have
I'm
this, but I just want to be careful. The other thing, too, is because of the strats I did in TPM, I don't have, like, rage jumping to, like, save myself if I beef this last hit, but we should be good. You can route it so that you do, but it's a lot faster to do this without rage. That's one of the cool things about rage jumping as a glitch, too, is you can use it both as a way to get skips going, and also as a defensive utility to save yourself if you make a mistake. So you might have seen that in a couple of places already, but... So that was the Sumo fight. That went really, really well. Now we're going into one of the hardest skips in the game that kind of everyone in the community goes for, which is boat minigame glitch. So there is a boat minigame like section that you do to compete for a Wraith Heart. And there's a really tricky rage jump that I can do to bug it out and win it instantly. But before we can even begin to talk about that, we have to parkour our way up there to begin with in this like big volcano area. So we got some pretty rad movement through here as well. So I hit that guy in the head, do a really long jump over that way. And I'm doing kind of these little short hops along the way to kind of space myself. I'm really trying to avoid ledge grabs whenever possible, because when I'm grabbing the ledge, it's a really slow animation, and it doesn't mean I can, extended high jump, extended long jump, right? Oop, nice little Goomba stomp right there. And, okay, I'm going to need quiet time here, because this is really hard and really punishing if I mess this up. All right, here we go. I think I got it. Okay. So what I did is with that rage jump, I spaced it in a specific way to hit it from the side. Yeah, there we go. So you see all those cannonballs blow up? There's only supposed to be one set. But because I hit the trigger twice by going through the side and then down from the top, it activates it twice, breaking all the cannonballs instantly and instantly letting me skip the minigame and get the Wraith Heart. Oh my god.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god. Woo. If you mess that up, you can't cancel the rage state, meaning that you'll lose your entire rage bar if you mess that up the wrong way. That's why that's so scary. And you saw how long it took me to build up my rage bar at the start of the run, comboing 3 enemies for like extra multiplier, you know? Like, so with that being said, now we're gonna head into the volcano itself, which is going to be, we're gonna start with that kind of same parkour line. Again, kicking one of those imp enemies in the face so that I can kind of rebuild my rage meter along the way. And then we're gonna wait here, and then I know exactly where that platform is going to be because it's on a set cycle. That's another example of a global cycle where as soon as I load into the sub area, that moving platform starts. See what I mean? So if you make a mistake like that, you can use the rage jump in order to save it. So there's such a really cool like skill ceiling to this game where it's just like, the more game knowledge you have and like the more like you get comfortable with like applying properties of the game or glitches and stuff, the more cool things you can do like that. So for example, we're gonna do that to get to the top and save some of the platforming. So nice. I took a bit of a safer spot to do that strat from than I normally would for like going for a gold, but that is totally fine. Okay, soul jars in the below are really interesting because all of the soul jars are located in these little stretches of land that border the giant glass dome here. And what you're intended to do is swim into the water and find these secret openings in order to reach these other parts of the landmass. But because of rage jumping, we can do it without ever having to get into the water until the very end. So we're gonna go ahead and start by setting this sundial, and I'm playing it a little bit safe just to make sure. I'm gonna intentionally do a high jump into a ground pound. This is going to free my camera from getting stuck, into a fakey fireball long jump to get up and over. And now we're in another one of those sections of landmass that we're supposed to swim for. But we didn't do that, because why would we? There's another one right there. And again, every time you're seeing me do one of these long jumps or high jumps, I'm pressing jump and then crouching like anywhere between 1 to 4 frames later. And the longer I make that gap between jump and crouch, the further I'll go. And so right there, I do a little strat where I intentionally uppercut myself into the ceiling because the uppercut hitbox for the damaging part of the attack is really big. And then here comes the best part of the entire game. Boing.
Yay!
Because he has the last soul jar and he's a little rude. So we actually have a category for this game called Troll Tag, where the goal of it is to, from a fresh file, do that as quickly as possible.
I was just going to ask. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It used to go by a different name, but we renamed it so I could start submitting it to marathons.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ooh, this is gonna like be close to goal. Oh, barely missed it by like a tenth. Oh well.
Wow.
Worth a shot. Okie dokie. Alrighty. So now we're gonna go do sundial. This is a very, very scary section casually and in the run, but there are some like little adjustments that you can do to make it a bit safer, some of which I might lean towards depending on how I feel when I get there. The theme of this sundial section is that there's a lot of these like blocks that'll come falling from the ceiling that'll squish you and insta-kill you. But if you know how those trigger, then you can manipulate it and do some really silly stuff with it. So we're gonna start by kind of, hold on a second. I'm getting a lot of lag here just because there's a really fancy shader right there. All right.
It's pretty.
So for this first one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go under it to trigger it to slam, and then I'm gonna long jump along this little edge of this platform so that instead of having to wait for it to rise all the way back up, we can just keep going. And then from here,
that's so cool.
Yeah, we just do this big long jump leap of faith, and then I do a flip kick right there to cancel my fall damage. And there will be 2 enemies here, one of which I'll smack in the head in order to go ahead So you're normally supposed to fight those enemies too, but you can just jump around the wall, which is hilarious to me. Oh. Yeah, there's a couple of gaps in here. I'm just trying to be very careful with the amount of damage I take, because it is possible for the sights to kill you here if you're not paying attention. And then this is the funniest part. So we're gonna bait this into falling, rage jump to get on top of its hitbox, and just go over the top instead. And that's the heart.
It's so broken.
It's so broken.
That's so.
I love video
Who knew
games.
being so angry would solve so many problems?
You would be less angry if you play that level yourself and know how sweat-inducing that level is. Because it's just
Yeah.
Especially when
The
you
timing looks tight on it.
It's pretty tight, yeah. So if you are too late to do the rage jump, they actually kind of thought about it and like added like a little invisible collision on top of it, like just a little bit of an extension to its invisible hitbox there. But with the right timing, you still get up there, and you could rage fireball jump over there too, but you'd want to try to avoid that if possible. All right, this is laser beams. There's going to be I'm going to try to go for the rage jump here without the fireball, which is pretty, like I mentioned earlier with the, pressing jump and then crouch. The more you delay that crouch input, the higher you go. So I need a really good height here on both. Nice. And then I do a running extended high jump, and then purposely make it so that he grabs me in midair. He's on a local site or on a global cycle that starts when the level loads in, and if you get there quickly enough, he will attack you and hit you with his command grab, which allows me to skip a ledge grab and smack him in the face to get my rage back. Like, there's just so many little things that like are just like really genius about that little strat. So I don't know who found that one, but shout outs to them. Oh, and that was a gold too. Hell yeah.
Nice, dude. You're cooking.
Yes! Yes!
I'm going to give you a little bit of a motion sickness warning for this next one. This split is called Upside Down. In the place where we went to go do the sundial, you'll notice that there was that force field with another Wraith Heart in it. And what I need to do is like step on a button, which is going to invert my controls kind of and turn me upside down. And then I have to jump on a bunch of platforms in order to deactivate the force field. So if you don't like upside down things, and you think that'll give you motion sickness, look away now, and I will let you know when you can look. Otherwise, I'm just going to concentrate for just a moment here.
They did that to me one time.
Who?
Okay, got it.
Doesn't elaborate. Doesn't elaborate.
What do you mean? Well, in that case, Anarchy, would you like to elaborate on how chat's been doing, and maybe if you've had any cool messages come in?
I sure do. I was just gonna ask when was a good time.
Yeah, right now would be great.
We've got some great donations coming in towards AWN Network. We had $10 from Hey It's Perk, so thank you so much. We also had $15 coming from Shiger we're gonna start that over. $15 from Shiger0518 _. So thank you so much, and those all go towards AWN, which you can learn more at awnnetwork.org. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yum. Chomp.
Yum. Yummers.
So this heart in particular is really funny. This has a passcode on it that's the same every time. Do you want to take a guess as how you're supposed to figure out the passcode?
No.
No? Okay. You would have gotten it wrong anyway. And the reason why is because the passcode is on page 18 of the game's instruction manual.
Oh. Hey, that would have. Hey, hearing that answer, getting it wrong would have caused me some major rage. I can't lie.
Oh yeah.
Some vexations.
Not as much a rage as Vexx has got.
Vexations.
All right, we're gonna see
messages.
We're going into Dagger Crag now, and so we're gonna get to see a really cool vertical movement chain where I kind of do. We're gonna see a really nice property of the ground pound that. If you do a ground pound near a ledge, it'll kind of snap you into the ledge grab animation. So right there, I actually do flip kick first so that I grab the ledge there, because otherwise I don't really have the height, which then allows me to go for this. Oh my God, that could have been so bad. Okay, it's time to talk about the heart dupe. So This is being run on the Xbox version, and for the longest time, the GameCube version was faster because of something called the Monk Heart Dupe. When the game is incapable of autosaving, it allows you to do this really weird interaction where there's this part right here that you're normally supposed to... Oh, and I got the flip kick version too. This will go by like 5 seconds, or 3 seconds.
Let's go.
You're supposed to get that by going to the top of the level and then breaking that glass dome in order to reach that. But there's also another Wraithheart copy of that is at the top of that room too. And normally, the game like counts those two as the same. Okay, so we're gonna take an intentional death here because I got the camera bug, and that is something that can happen sometimes when you enter a level, and that would have made me basically platform blindly to the next thing here. Okay, I'm actually not gonna have enough time to talk about the Heart Dupe now, so we'll talk about it when we actually do the second half of the Heart Dupe. How about that? Okay. So. This is Triple Jump Arena. This is another really difficult strat. And what I need to do here is go for a rage long jump, which is a much tighter input than your standard rage jump. Actually, you know what I might do? Instead of that, I might go for this kind of easier version I labbed. So we're gonna wait for him to get kind of out of the way. Here we go. Okay.
What?
Nice.
What? Right.
So I actually had to drop and do my rage input really low because when you do it from there, you actually bonk your head on the ceiling. That's why you used to really want to do the rage long jump. But I found that strat, which is way safer. It's a bit slower. Generally, if you can avoid doing a second midair like long jump or high jump, it's better for like your movement and your rage. But that is infinitely safer. And now we're going to cheese the block puzzle. This is like a kind of cool puzzle parkour bit where you have these block platforms that you can break with your attacks, and you have to figure out which ones you're supposed to break in order to successfully get up here. But instead, you can just rage jump and skip the whole puzzle.
Yep.
Right. You know what, right?
Sure enough.
Exactly.
Show enough.
All right, now we're on to Dagger Crag Soul Jars. So, yeah. So interestingly enough, like. I'm just gonna say it, like the fact that this game exists at all is kind of a miracle, and that's because they had like so much planned for this game. It was a very like ambitious concept of like an open world Mario 64 type of thing, pretty much. And so because like not only that got scrapped, but also just like they had to cut a lot of content that they couldn't finish. There's like. So like that, you know how like it probably looked really weird that there was like this volcano area right below like the Aquadome? That's because like there was supposed to be like a whole lava world and a bunch of lava areas, and then also a whole like desert world too. But because of like budget and time and scope limitations, they ended up kind of splitting it up into that teleporter hub area. And so, I thought the elevator was supposed to be here. I lied to myself. There we go. But if I get through there quickly enough anyway, it's not a big deal. Kick that guy in the head, and then I'm going to long jump into this last soul jar. This will suspend me mid-air, so I can mash flip kick to get out of the long jump momentum and just fall into the heart, just like that. All right.
This game is so cool. I'm gonna keep saying it till the
I really hope that if you're watching this run, that this convinces you to give it a try if you've never played it, because like the platforming and just like some of the environments and levels are just so cool. And like the crazy thing too is like this is kind of like the last world. Like there's still a lot of hard stuff in this world. Like we just did Triple Jump Arena, for example. But like after this world, we have 3 worlds back to back that all look really cool and are also just unbelievably, ungodly difficult. So that'll be fun. But now we're gonna save the monks. So this is like the only like combat section we're gonna do, and there's some stuff I'm doing with like routing to manipulate the enemies and all that, but kind of just like straightforward stuff. So how are y'all doing? How are we doing, gamers?
I like that wiggle that the monks got going on. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Why do you build rage when you do damage to enemies? Like, I just think, like, realistically, wouldn't you get mad if you get hurt, but like you're hurting others and then you're also getting mad about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you saying?
What? Straightforward.
No, I gotta be with. I'm with Laszlo on this one. That's a pretty.
Thank you.
That's a pretty reasonable question. Oh, now he's doing the wiggles too.
I do
Oh,
really.
I
I
love
like that. That was awesome.
He's a bit of a
was-
wiggler. He's
Yeah. No, it's
No,
alright.
and then he's gonna do like the.
Whoa.
You know,
Okay.
do you remember, like,
On the beat. Okay.
those hand motions? This might be a stretch, but you all remember like those ads for like the fushigi balls and the way they
Yes,
absolutely.
That's
yes,
what that reminds me of.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so speaking of fushigi balls, let's talk about the heart dupe, shall we? That was a horrible segue.
I rock with it.
The glass dome heart at the very top of the level, like I tried to say earlier, has 2 copies of it. One for the normal way you're supposed to get it, and also just kind of like a visual like reference copy of it in the room with the fushigi ball monk, right? And so normally the game is like totally fine, like handling there's a weird bug with it where it's like you can collect both and it plays like the new heart collected animation. But it keeps like the heart count as it's supposed to be, right? But if the game is unable to save, it actually just writes that same heart as like 2 distinct hearts. And so because of that, this allows us to basically we're good.
Oh.
Yo.
We're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I was in control the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes the enemy movements can be a little bit random, and I just got kind of owned there, so it means I won't hit this cycle, unfortunately. But this heart is normally supposed to be like kind of grayed out or non-grabbable, but essentially we're grabbing this heart twice. And the reason why GameCube used to be the version we all played on is because this trick used to not really be believed to be possible on the Xbox version because the Xbox doesn't have like a memory card you can pull out to prevent autosave. But I figured out that if you fill up your Xbox's hard drive so that there's no room for any game saves, the Xbox version also can't autosave. And when it can't autosave, it allows the heart dupe to work. So that's why I'm able to do the Xbox version in marathons now, because I have access to the heart dupe, which actually saves a pretty substantial amount of time.
Bro is the researcher. That's awesome.
What? That's
Isn't that
so cool.
stupid?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So what do you do to fill up your hard drive?
So I created like a dummy binary, like just like a dummy text file. And what's really cool about the command prompt in Windows is that you can just create like dummy files that are just like all zeros, which basically means nothing. So I made like a dummy text file that was like multiple gigabytes or something like that. So we're gonna do another ledge snap right there with the ground pound. Nice. This is just gonna keep my rage going here.
Hey, that's so cool though. Wait,
Isn't
that's
that
like,
stupid?
Yeah,
You're-
that's awesome. That's
Hey, you're telling me you didn't fill up your hard drive with a bunch of save files of Barbie Horse Adventures, Wild Horse Rescue for the Xbox?
That's right.
I just want to say as well, by the way, that save was ridiculous.
You're just
I
like,
got
oh,
the
you're too
save
good.
and then I immediately clobbered the enemy in the face so I could go for the cycle again. That was
my
dope. All right, and now we've got our last mini boss fight, which is also kind of like the last little break that I get before the end game gauntlet, which is the world Summit of Sages into Frostblight Mill into Citadel of Shadows. This game, like as far as speedruns go, may have like the most brutal end game of any I have ever played. But luckily, this is a little bit of a reprieve because we have a really funny manip that we can do on this mini boss here. So the way this mummy guy works is essentially he's gonna like roll into a ball like SA1 Sonic style, and just kind of roll around the arena. And normally he becomes vulnerable after he spends enough time in the center of the stage. But this will get delayed if he rolls off the main stage, because then he'll do like this weird kind of attack cycle. Then he's gonna go for the pile driver, which is gonna miss because I'm a gamer. And then we're just gonna do extended long jumps around the stage. And this is another example where each phase gets faster with the rolling. So because of that, like you actually need to like hit your extended long jumps here pretty consistently to maintain this manip here. But other than that, we're just kind of like walking the dog here, for lack of a better term. Kick him in the head. Pile driver.
I just want to say that like me with a metal elbow watching that pile driver move is making me want to like look away.
I forgot. Like half of you is like bionic. I forgot. Like
yeah.
Fun Laszlo lore fact. Laszlo is part android.
I am.
What are you gonna do? Fact check me?
But you're not wrong. So
you have been saying this.
Verified true facts.
All right, heading into Summit of Sages, we're going for this is probably the last thing that I am very, very scared about, which is Soul Jars and Summit of Sages. It's maybe one of the most creative levels in the game casually. It's essentially this like dice, like this D6 that is hollowed out on the inside. And you press a button to rotate it, and every time you rotate it, it like makes a different side of the floor, meaning that different things become platforms or walls or obstacles, and each like interior side of the D6 has a different soul jar in it. But there's a really funny strat that we can use to completely bypass it and just get the Wraith Heart without any of the soul jars. But before we do that, we gotta go put our own face onto Mount Rushmore here, which is such a flex that like, low-key, like, Vexx is kind of arrogant for that, like...
The presidents and me.
Exactly. So, essentially what I'm going to be doing is the Wraith Heart that you collect after getting the soul jars is, like, suspended midair, and then this cube kind of spawns in and swallows it, so you can't access it, but it's still active. So what I'm going to be attempting to do is, like, rage jump into it, with a specific setup, and hopefully that will get me the heart, but I have to be really careful about how I do it. So we have a fun little ride down a sandy river sort of thing here, but even then I'm gonna ask for concentration here, because if things go wrong here, they will go very, very wrong. We'll just put it that way. So wish me luck, gamers. Send me your energy, chat, and either just in a text message or maybe even in a donation. Consider it.
Text message.
I'm struggling here.
Text your phone.
I am so terrified right now.
Good luck.
Here we go. Yeah! We got it. Okay.
Yup. That's my streamer.
Oh, okay. So the reason I was so terrified about that is that if you miss the heart, but then the cube spawns in and pushes you into the heart, it soft locks you and your run is over. That's why I was so terrified. But we hit it. Easy every time.
You're good.
And we're good to go. And I didn't really get to talk about just how rough like every opening part of every split in Summit of Sages is, because you have to do a extended high jump out of the jumping out of water animation. Then you have to do wall jumps, which are jank. And then now we're going into the furnace sub area, which has some really tricky movement in here. We're going to be doing another fakey fireball. And then depending on how things and cycles go in there, will kind of dictate the strats I go for after that. But yeah, you can kind of see right there. So
it's the fact that you're able to do like this difficult platforming and all the skips that you're doing, but also like the endurance to do them for an hour and a half is so impressive.
That is the biggest thing.
Slow down.
Like there are a lot of strats that are individually very difficult. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that last jump there is maybe the like low-key the sleeper scariest part. But like that is the thing, is just how for any percent, and even if you dare 100%, which is like I think 2.5 hours, might not be that long these days. I don't remember what the route looks like now. That was almost a gold, and I nearly golded that in my original PB.
Let's go.
That's another very difficult split. But yeah, no, it is a bit of an endurance test, right? So I will say as well, if you're like seeing this game and like, wow, that's so cool, but doing that for like an hour and a half at top level seems impossible. Start with Troll Tag. That's like a 25 to 30 minute run when you first get started, and you learn a lot of the really cool stuff right off the bat. So that's a really great sampler. And then if you're like, hey, that's enough speedrun for me in one sitting, awesome. But if you're like, oh, now maybe I think I can do this, then you try any percent or hundo, right? So it's really cool that exists as kind of like a way to kind of get you sort of into it, if that makes sense. All right. The way this sub area works is that there's a bunch of buttons that we can press to raise the water level and kind of raise where all the different platforms go. But I'm going to skip this first one with a rage jump. So any button that you skip will kind of not matter because the water level is just pre-programmed to go to a specific spot. So what we're going to do here is pick this guy, and I'm actually going to wait here because I want to hold on to my rage. We're going to do an extended high jump out of a gust of wind platform into a rage jump into a fakey fireball. Oh my god, I almost didn't have enough height.
Wow. Ooh.
And that's a 2-second gold too. Oh, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, baby. Alrighty. That was sick. Another bit of flashing lights warning coming up. I'm going to be swimming through some more rings, but there's a pretty big flash of light anytime that ever happens. So I will let you know once I've swum through the last ring, and then we should be good to go from there. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to be doing another one of those extended high jumps out of the surface of the water, but then try to chain that into a ground pound into flip kick in order to get me into this ring without having to platform up to it. Nice. So that's actually pretty similar to the strat we did at the very start of the run with that second water ring tower in Timberdale, believe it or not. Similar concept, but that one I would argue is a bit easier, but that's the thing, right? You can say, oh, that one's a bit easier, but the moment you stop respecting this game is the moment it will eat you alive. Like that.
I love talking about my speed games like they're wild animals.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, this is a game that you kind of have to conquer. Like it makes it so rewarding, though. You know.
Yeah.
All right, that's the last ring of water, or in the water rather. And by holding X and holding an angle, this will actually cause me to swim during that cutscene and allow me to get into this kind of like ice cap sub area a little bit, if it'll let me, a little bit sooner than intended. All right, so this is going to be just pure platforming here. I'm going to beat up on a couple enemies along the way here, but I don't really intend to use rage here if I can help it.
Let me know when you have some time for some announcements.
Give me just 1 second. Honestly, yeah, no, now would actually probably be a perfect time. This is pretty chill platforming, not just because we're in the ice cap, but...
Nice, yep.
I like that. But with that, we have actually an incentive opening for tomorrow's opening run, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. So if we reach $4,000 raised for AWN Network throughout the rest of today's live runs or during the day when replay that's going to start overnight, Beam Queen Soul will do the boss rush mode after her 1 p.m. Eastern run tomorrow. The boss endurance challenge goes through every boss in the game in less than 10 minutes, which is an amazing feat. So if you enjoy Kirby speedruns, you can visit gdq.gg/donate to see this extra challenge run. We've got a lot of donations coming as well for AWN Network. We had $5 from Lil Valkyrie. We also had $25 from Griff Orzer. I can read names. So thank you so much for getting those donations in for AWN Network. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for those donations. Also, Twin, get it together.
I'm trying my best.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are just the best. Thank you all so much for your generosity as well as just for being here, because we're playing Vexx on GQ at prime time. This is so cool. I freaking love this game, if you can't already tell.
Yeah.
So any opportunity to dust off the Xbox controller is one that's appreciated. So after our fun little sand slide ride, I'm going to wait a little bit and then extended long jump. There's kind of like a weird momentum thing that happens with that platform. And the way this whole like section puzzle-wise works is you have to press these switches on top of the statues to get their textures to match with the symbol on the big statue over there. That was a very weird little interaction I had there, but and also was in my earbud. No, I need my game audio. And this unlocks a little maze thing in here, and it's the same solution every time. So we're just going to be walking inside the floor in a maze. I'm actually not going to long jump in here at all until the very end, because it, weirdly enough, doesn't really make you go any faster. Something about like the weird perspective here, like kind of just messes with it. There we go. And so the last part that we're gonna get in some of those stages. Why did that go? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut up. Some of these might be golds just because some of these might be gold that are holdovers from when I ran on GameCube, so they might just be loading times. Again, we measure against load remove time, so that's not typically what I'm super concerned with. But now we're gonna do something here called up the drain. Where are you going, bro?
Right.
Okay, he decided to go for an adventure, so I just want to kick a guy in the head to prep for the world after this. But this heart right here is actually part of Tempest Peak Manor, believe it or not. And you're supposed to like go through this sink drain, but they didn't put collision on the underside of the platform, so you don't even have to rage jump. You can just extended high jump out of the water into it and get it for free, and it's super fast.
Use like reverse like owl list. That was crazy.
But yeah, it is kind of a reverse owl list. And speaking of reverse owl list, we're gonna do the no wingsuit strat. So you're supposed to fly under this map in order to get to this heart. But what if I said nah?
What?
Okay, so Frostbite Mill, really difficult level, and I'm gonna go for a fast cycle here for some platforming. I have to really concentrate here, so I'll explain what all this is for, hopefully in a moment. I'm actually going to go ahead and warp to hub, because even just accidentally getting that wall hang on the invisible wall there will make this not work. That's how tight this is. Might not get there. Oh, we barely got it. Okay, so if you don't get there quickly enough, the gust of wind from the windmill that's supposed to be blocking it will just send you flying off. So we hit the cycle there. That was cool. I want to at least show it off once. We're gonna see it one more time, hopefully, and then this is the Mario 64 slide section. That's not good. How do I back this up? That will have to do. Okay, I should live this. Nice. Okay, we backed it up. Okay, cool. So I was intending to jump off the slide there a bit more gracefully than I did, but I had to spend some rage on that, so not a big deal. And it's actually totally fine that I used rage there because we're going to be doing lava under ice next, which we are going to be doing rageless. So we're going to be doing it nice, cool, calm, and collected. And that will give me the opportunity to beat up some enemies along the way and get our rage back for maybe one of my single favorite hearts in the entire speedrun, which is flipping skyplats. Because after this segment, which this segment, by the way, movement-wise, is also really cool. But flipping skyplats starts off with that windmill cycle that I hit in the when I did the ice slide. And then it has even more on top of that. That's ridiculous. 3, 4, 5, 6 out the window. Love that little strat. I'm going to go ahead and grab... Oh, no, I guess I'm not grabbing that extra life. I was like, oh, I'm going to grab an extra life here for marathon safety. And then what if I just missed the one-up? So I'm here a little off-cycle now, so the platforms are kind of rude and evil. But the swinging flails are in a much better spot, so compromises. Yeah, this is another like kind of orphan section of the lava world that just got put somewhere. Because they wanted to use the cool level that they made, which I don't blame them. All right.
Right.
Flipping skyplats.
You did that with peace in your heart.
Yeah, exactly. Flipping skyplats. This is going to start out with that crazy windmill cycle. So I'm going to shut up for a second, and then I'm going to explain what happens after that. Oh, we 110% make this. Nope, we don't. Okay.
I'm scared.
Rats.
Oh no.
Oh well.
We take those.
I had fun still.
I almost hit it, but so one of the sketchy things about doing extended long jumps, if you delay it too long, you get a ground pound instead of an extended long jump. Okay, here's where the wingsuit comes into play. We're gonna fly down here and stick ourselves in this. Oh, nope, hold on. I beefed it. Wow, you know what? We're just gonna completely warp to hub and try this again. I'm gonna lose so much time for this, but oh well.
It's so fun.
Now I'm not gonna hit the
Clean slate.
cycle, but whatever. We're just gonna keep on. Ain't no stopping in this dirty, filthy, rotten, nasty little world we call our home. No, I'm bad.
What's happening?
I'm so bad. I'm probably dead here.
One more time.
Again.
And run that verse back.
Okay, we're gonna wait. Wow, this is embarrassing. We're gonna wait.
No, you hit it so clean earlier. It's okay.
At least I showed
Yeah.
it off once, you know?
Yeah.
But I really wanted to have rage, and also I need the wingsuit here. I'm gonna shut up and do the thing that the wingsuit is here for, and then explain what's going on. This should work. So I ground pound into the air vent with the wingsuit, which launches me all the way up here. And then there's all this like moving platform crap that you normally have to deal with, but this is gonna take us up to like the second to last platform and get all of this out of the way. And I think we get the smooth landing too, so I don't have to save it with a rage jump, which will be nice later. And now we get to see the worst of wall jumps.
Yeah. With that
Yep, here
awesome
we go.
camera angle.
Yep, here we go. It's happening.
Oh, the camera!
And that time the wall jump failed.
Okay, alright. Yeah, there you go. Oh, wait! No!
Even with the rage, are you kidding me? Leave me alone! Please!
We're gonna beat up by some ice cubes. Oh no.
Oh my god, and I died too. I want you all to know, by the way, I was minus 149 out of lava under ice, and now we are in the plus range. So that's great.
That's
Well-
alright though.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us, but it's okay. We're having a great time during this 2025 Disability and Neurodivergence special on GDQ Hotfix, so
Yup. Say it, twin.
could not ask for some better people to be on the mic with right now.
See, I told you I'm not bad at this game. Okay, I hit the strat.
You're
That's
good
what
at
I'm
this
saying.
game.
You're
No
good.
one's doubted you.
This is exactly
We
what you were
locked
talking
hours.
about, Lasso, where it's like you have a run where you do all this really hard stuff an hour and 10 minutes in, and then you have something like that.
Yeah.
That
Get
almost
burgered.
didn't work
It's
again.
okay.
My height's a little rough here. Or wait, actually no, I have great height here. Never mind. I'm spreading misinformation. The worst part is that my final world in my PV run was so bad that as long as I can do my wall jumps here, in this moment right now, nope. Nope. What the hell was that?
And you will. Lock in.
There we go.
And I know that's
There
right.
you go.
And I know that's right.
And
Yup.
period.
And
period.
yup.
And get me out of here.
Show enough.
Show enough.
Okay, let's see if we can bring this run back. So now we're gonna do another one of my. There's a lot of really funny strats in this level. Usually they go better than that did, but neither here nor there. We're gonna do something called windmill skip. So that big windmill has a sub area in there, which leads to an elevator and a wraith heart at the very top. And similar to what we did with that grandfather clock, we can actually just get up to the top of it. But the strat to do that is maybe one of the coolest things in this whole game. I'm gonna miss the cycle probably. Nope, I'm a god. Okay, so you literally just get on top of this
Right.
blade of the windmill, nudge your way up the top, turn around, long jump to get on top of the roof, and then a couple long jumps and you grab the heart just like that.
Double take 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That was awesome.
All right, now we're gonna go do snowball chest keys. So thankfully I don't have to deal with that godforsaken windmill anymore.
Yay!
But we do have to deal with snowballs falling from the sky, which is arguably worse.
No. And also that. No.
We're good. See, that's the thing with the rage, where if you wield it properly, you can use it as a save. Oh my god, I got a frame perfect. Okay, so I talked a little bit about how every time you do a rage jump, it costs rage. But if you cancel the rage state at the correct frame, it will not cost any rage. So I got to keep my rage. That was cool.
Yay! We're holding in our anger. Yay!
We're keeping it to ourselves.
I'm not an expert, but I don't know if that's a good idea.
Speaking of things that are a good idea, let me know when you have some more time for some.
Give me 1 second. We're gonna do. I'm gonna. Oh, ow. This. Let's see. Oh no, that was way off. I'm trying to do a snipe so that instead of like climbing all the way up there, I toss a snowball from like over here. But I need a camera angle in order to do it. No.
What?
And this is why
You weren't lying.
This is why this is one of the most chaotic splits in the game.
Good heavens.
I just want to say, by the way, not to toot my own horn, I am a god for saving that, because that water down there would have frozen me and instantly killed me. That was like pure reaction.
I am a god.
Yeah, no, so the snowballs here spawn randomly.
That felt like that hit me in real life.
So
That
if I
scared me
jump
so
and
bad.
throw, that should hit. Nice. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
I was playing so good, and then the game was like, no. How
Hey,
dare
actually-
you? So now we need.
You recovered pretty quickly, though.
I need a snowball, and that would have been a great spot to get one, but I need one to land like not on my head.
Now I'm nervous.
Please. Yeah. No.
Oh,
What? This game. I take back what I said. This game actually sucks and is awful. I have never gotten. Oh my god, there was another one on the way too. Good god.
So evil.
The worst thing
Wow.
too is sometimes the game cheats in your favor. I just lost another minute to that. That's awesome. Sometimes a snowball can spawn in such a spot where it actually breaks one of the icicles for you. But of course, well, at least it was funny, you know?
it was funny.
was-
At least we had a
Oh
good
my-
time watching that. Oh,
That
my
was the greatest, worst thing that's ever happened to me. But yeah, we're just gonna go do the last rock suit mission here. There's gonna be like a little skip where they just didn't think about their level design good enough. So, Anarchy, this is probably another good spot for like a quick update, because Last World is really hard.
And you're
Of
gonna get
course.
the names right this time.
And you, yes, I sure am. So for donations, we've got $5 from Delilah is Dee. Thank you so much for that donation towards the Autistic Women and Nonbinary Network. We also had $52 donated from Miller Queen. Again, thank you so much. We are trying to reach $4,000 to get that Kirby incentive for Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Or if we reach 4K by the end of that run tomorrow, Bean Queen Soul will be doing the boss rush mode, where she is going to defeat every boss in the game in less than 10 minutes, which is going to be really, really cool. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you get your donations in towards the AWN. We are so glad to be raising money for them during this 2025 Disability and Neurodivergence special. So yeah, I'm going to hand it back over to Jaxler, because
All right, are you ready for the meat grinder?
Vexler.
Vexler.
Here comes
I'm
some of
ready.
this world has an unfair. I'm actually gonna go ahead and warp to hub just to try to set this cycle up.
Oh, we're just gonna leave.
Let's see if I can hit this
Yeah, bye.
cycle. Good. All right, I missed the cycle, unfortunately, but the idea behind that cycle is you go fast enough so those L platforms don't ruin your life. You'll start to notice in these last 5 hearts of our run here that the difficulty spike is blatantly ridiculous. We're gonna be
It's
doing,
been ridiculous.
yeah. Like, just look at this level and tell me there is a god, okay? Like, like this is left
It's
path.
you.
This is like generally considered like one of the hardest hearts in the run. We did get through it first try though without falling. So
Oh wow.
yeah, look how vertical everything is stacked up, and
That looks evil.
and that's like not even the hardest part. We haven't even gone down the middle path yet. So that was left path. Now we're gonna try right path. And then we're gonna do 2 hearts down the middle, and then we have one much more chill heart to cap off for number 60 before we go into the final boss. And then right there, I'm intentionally trying to avoid using the yellow poles there so I can use my actual gamer movement instead. Oh, ow.
Your rage? Your gamer rage?
Yeah, speaking of gamer rage, we have a really cute little chain here where we do that one, and then there's just a dude right there that we beat up to get mad again.
But why is that like you're starting it? Like you're doing it. Why are you the one getting mad?
I don't know. Emotions
Because-
are weird, Laszlo.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah, so if that didn't, yeah, stuff like that is why this level is so scary.
You're him, Jaxler.
Now imagine in 100% where you have to get the 100 coin star deathless in order for it to count.
Oh.
And keep that fact in mind as well while I go do this middle path here. I have to do this twice for 2 different hearts.
I'm already scared.
All of those hoops are electrifying. I hit one, I basically die instantly.
Oh,
And
Also,
I
don't
did
think
hit
I
the
like
fast
circles
strat there,
anymore.
though, too. That is kind of the optimal way of doing it. So that was pretty sick.
Nice.
that was sick.
But that's like the thing, though, is that's all on me to execute there. As long as I, for the most part, Vexx is deterministic. I did the same inputs every time, same outputs, including an output of a 2-second gold on one of the hardest splits in the game.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
But now
Yeah.
we get to do it again because there's another heart at the end of that middle path, which is mostly the same platforming. But now I'm going to go 3, 4, kick this guy in the head. That kick, even though like it looks a little slow, kind of sets me up perfectly. I really wanted that one up there, but that's fine.
You don't need it.
So that little corner cut I do there actually intersects kind of where 2 of those electrified hoops are going. So that jump in particular is like extra risky because of that. And wow, we got through middle path deathless. That is actually, I can't remember the last time I've done that in a run.
Show enough.
Holy smokes.
So
Okay.
clean. That's go.
And now we're going into basement, which is that really chill part. For how awful freaking Frostbite was, this is probably the best Citadel of Shadows I've ever landed in a run, which is kind of wild. So thanks, game.
You came back.
So I guess that means I have to go for the thing, don't I?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
All right.
And you're gonna get it. Because you've been getting it.
I have been getting it. I did hit it 3 times in a row and in practice. So there is the actual hardest skip in the game is not until the final boss. There is something called Yabu Phase 1 skip, and which essentially allows you to skip like a 3-minute long, pretty boring combat phase. It is extremely difficult. I just learned it today, and I think I have hit it 5 times ever. But if I hit it, I save 3 minutes, and this is probably world record. So we're gonna go for it. So to give you some context for where we are, going into Citadel of Shadows, I was 2 minutes and 15 behind. We are now only plus 56. So if I hit this, this could record, at least RTA. So we're going into the final boss now. So, and if I feel it's not the end of the world, we just go fight the boss. But I figured that since y'all have been so generous this run and over the course of this event so far, maybe a little...
A treat.
Oh, as a treat.
A treat.
Okay,
A treat.
let's see if I can get this.
Good luck.
The first part's not too bad. It's the second part that's really tough. Okay. Oh, I was too low. Okay, I almost got it. I did almost get it. That's okay.
Nice try.
If I hit that, I would have been able to skip that like first phase, but that's okay. We'll just go fight the phase. That's totally chill.
Let's get it.
That was really, really close to working though. I did almost hit that. I was just a little like not confident in my platforming spacing there. But we're vibing though, so we're gonna go ahead and do some uppercuts here. He's just gonna spawn these little guys who are really, really rude.
They're so cute.
They're cute, except when they knock me around everywhere. So I'm gonna do a combination of uppercuts into ground pound in order to they take 3 hits each. And then after a little bit, he'll kind of spawn his second wave. Basically, if I had hit the skip, after this wave and the next, this phase would have already been over, but there's a lot more to this phase we're gonna have to do now, unfortunately. But we are doing just fine.
That's more time with you.
Exactly. And it'll also definitely reduce my nerves going into phase 2 of Yabu, which is by far one of the most unfair. There was someone in chat earlier who said, like, I played this game growing up, but I got hardballed on the final boss, and there's a reason for that. It is very unfair. There's like double damage hits, and a lot of them are very difficult to react to. But there are setups for it and ways to manipulate. So that's what we're going to be looking for here. So yeah, we're getting hit with the fireballs. All of these fireballs, and then like another wave of gremlins here that Laszlo thinks are cute.
Yay!
But they have to die, unfortunately.
Oh.
They're demons, though.
Okay.
Okay. You've been going on a spree beating everybody up, and I don't know what your motive is. So I don't know
anger is the motive.
Okay, but like, is it justified anger?
I think after Frostbite Mill, yes.
Okay, yeah,
you're right.
okay,
You're right.
Yeah,
I'd go swinging after that one. That was
that was diabolical. That was gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you get too close to Yabu there, too, he'll be like, you're cringe, and then do some more bad. I don't know. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself by saying silly things because, like I said, that second phase of the boss fight is terrifying. And if I die at any point in this boss fight, I have to do the boss all over again.
No, you got this.
Right.
Just let the joy and whimsy into your heart. Hey, let go of some of this rage. Why don't you?
Okay, here we go.
For over an hour. Good
So
luck.
he has a bunch of different attacks he can react to. There's one in particular that I'll need to uppercut into to make him vulnerable. And I need to hit him 5 times. And every time like I do the attack sequence, it'll get tighter and tighter to execute. So he'll usually jump around and kind of walk around. I'm standing in the center here on purpose so I can react to whatever he does. So we do that, uppercut.
Oh.
And that's 1 of 5.
That's so tight.
Yeah. And then here, I stand over here, start moving, because that attack, if you get hit by it, takes 2 damage instead of the regular 1. So I'm basically crouching so that when I need to, and he does something like that, I can immediately jump. But what I did right there, actually, is I reacted and got a short uppercut where it looks like I got scooped up by him, but I actually didn't because I'm invincible during the uppercut animation.
You're so cool, Jaxler. What?
Don't tell me that until I get to the end of the fight.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're
Just
right,
don't gas me.
Knuckle.
Don't.
No gas. No gas. Turn the burner off.
Turn the burner off. Y'all make sure your ovens are turned off.
Yeah, good check real quick.
Okay, 2 more. We also haven't seen any fireball attacks yet where he can shoot fireballs at us, which are pretty slow. So we've had some good luck here too, which is pretty nice. So probably gonna jump soon. Nope. Probably jumping now. Yep, and he's probably gonna shoot fireballs. So at this point in the fight, because he hasn't shot fireballs all that much, he is guaranteed to shoot only 1. And every time he does his fireball attack, he is guaranteed to poke his toes into the ground instead of sweep at you. So instead of actually reacting there, I can preempt my move there instead. 1 more hit to go. Probably gonna jump again. Yep, this is probably gonna be, oh, double. So that's 5 fireballs. Trying to position them in such a way where they are not in my way for engaging with the fight. And then because I know he's always gonna do that attack once I'm close enough, I get over to him as soon as I can. Oh, I was too slow. Yeah, see how tight the timing is? All right, so
What?
I didn't take damage, though. That's the important part. It doesn't matter if I miss it, so long as I don't die. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to do the attack again, and then he should scoop. And there we go. Even with the mistake there,
Nice.
damageless phase 2. That is incredible.
Oh. Phase 2.
And because I have rage here, actually, when I shouldn't, we can just go ahead and fireball all these guys instead of waiting around.
Anger.
But you get kind of like plot armor, for lack of a better term, and now we're past like the really tough stuff. So that's his first fireball. He's going to do 6 fireballs on top of a tower, and then when I reflect the 7th fireball, that will be time. So that's 2.
I'm speechless.
Ooh, okay.
All right, I'm scared. I'm not even playing.
Yeah, my heart.
3. These are really easy to deflect. We got past the hard part. Phase 2 was the hard
I'm still
part.
recovering.
I understand. That's fair.
From that.
4. 5.
Okay.
So this will be his last tower. And get ready on time. Time.
GG.
That is a 133.27. All right. We lived.
We
did it. We made it, man. GG.
Yeah. That run, other than that part, other than Frostblight Mill being evil coded, that was really good. I'm really proud of that. All right. Oh, my hands hurt. Yeah, I mean, that just goes to your point, Laszlo, where it's just like you have all this crazy hard stuff over the course of such a long run, and then you have that boss fight at the end.
Wow.
So,
wow.
by far one of the hardest games I run. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to show this game off on GDQ for the D&D special as well. Thank you so much to Anarchy for, I know you were involved with that decision process, so thank you. No bias whatsoever. But also thank you to the both for hanging out with me while this run happened. This was so much fun, and like doing this alone is really tough. And that goes for anything in speedrunning, right? So it's just like to have friends that want to hang out with me while I push buttons is something I don't take for granted. So thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all thought that was cool. Since
It was.
It was very cool. Of course.
Are you glad I made you go in blind?
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was Vexx, I guess. I've been Jaxler. If you want to see more of this game, and I tend to run the weirder stuff no one's ever heard of, find me at twitch.tv/Jaxler1 when I decide to press goes live on stream thing. My words are, I can't, no, goodbye. Otherwise, I just want to give a huge shout out as well to this event existing. For those who don't know, I am a type 1 diabetic. So being able to kind of, rep some of the, be rep for some of the parts of the community that have a lot more than just the runs they have to manage, as well as things like disability, chronic illness, and things of that nature. So speedrunning kind of really helped me get through my own journey. I got diagnosed at 18, so I am forever grateful to this community. And I want you to know as well, if you're a diabetic or have some other kind of chronic illness, you can do this, okay? It is within the cards, You put in the effort and you have people in your circle, Anarchy and Lazza and all the other friends I have, anything's possible. So with that, I think I should probably get out of here since I was underestimated, but not by much. So thank you everybody for checking this run out, and stick around for some, I believe we have some